evening, you're watching Just the News. I'm Amita Balachandra. An extremely tragic news that came in yesterday. Singer Krishna Kumar Kunnat, popularly known as KK, passed away on Tuesday night after his performance as he was rushed to his hotel after he was feeling uncomfortable. Now, reports said that he collapsed at the hotel where he was staying after the performance, and this was in Calcutta. Doctors at the Calcutta Medical Research Institute have said that the singer had died by the time he was brought to the hospital. Both the Hindustan Times and the Times of India, as of 9 p.m. This evening, have said that initial reports have ruled out unnatural death, suggesting that he suffered a cardiac arrest. Like I said, this is a developing story. ANI earlier had reported that Kolkata police initially registered a case of unnatural death. Ironically, on stage, just before he passed away, he sung the song Pal in his last performance as well. Now, the West Bengal government today gave a gun salute to the singer in Kolkata in the presence of Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. Moving away from this story now to the Lakhimpur Kheri cases, an update that's come in according to a report by PTI. Bharatiya Kisan Union leader Dilbagh Singh, one of the witnesses in the Lakhimpur Kheri violence case, was shot at by two unidentified men in Uttar Pradesh. Now, according to a report by the Dainik Bhaskar, Singh is the third witness in the Lakhimpur Kheri violence case to have been attacked. Now, the Lakhimpur Kheri incident took place on the 3rd of October, where 8 people, including 4 farmers and 1 journalist, were killed. An SUV mowed down farmers who were protesting. The main accused in the case is Union Minister Ajay Mishra's son, Ashish Mishra. Now, Allahabad High Court had granted him bail, but then the Supreme Court rejected it. He's currently in jail. Meanwhile, the Punjab Police has made the first arrest in connection with the murder case of singer Sidhu Moose Wala. Now, the police have accused Manpreet Singh Bhau of arranging vehicles for the assailants involved in his killing. Now, Bhau is a cousin of gangster Manpreet Singh Manna, who is already in custody in a separate case. Manpreet has 9 cases under Arms Act and for kidnapping and murder registered against him. Now, Moose Wala was shot dead in the Jahawarki village of Mansa district in Punjab on Sunday evening. Moving on from the story, an update on the IndiGo story. Now, IndiGo CEO Ronojoy Datta has said that IndiGo is going to conduct an internal case study on how to better handle passengers with disabilities and special needs, especially when they're feeling distressed. Now, last week, the Director General of Civil Aviation had imposed a fine of 5 lakh rupees on the airline for denying boarding to a boy with special needs at Ranchi Airport on the 7th of May. This came to light through a Facebook post by another passenger on this flight. Now, the airline had said that the boy was denied permission to board the flight as he was, and this is what the airline had initially said, and I quote, visibly in panic. Now, the video was posted on social media by a fellow passenger. On to COVID news right now, and this comes in from Mumbai. Mumbai's civic body BMC has said that testing will be ramped up in Mumbai as the test positivity rate is at 6%. Now, the BMC has warned, and I quote, with monsoon around the corner, we will now see a rapid rise in symptomatic cases, end quote. Now, the BMC has further asked for vaccination drive in the 12 to 18-year-old category and booster doses to be pushed aggressively as well. Now, fearing another sharp rise in symptomatic cases, the civic body has asked for jumbo field hospitals to be kept adequately staffed and on alert as well. Mumbai, in the meantime, as of today, in the last 24 hours, the data has only come in this evening. It says that 739 cases have been recorded in 24 hours. But Tuesday's data had showed that Mumbai had recorded 506 fresh COVID cases, which was already the highest daily count since the 6th of February this year. But now that number has climbed up to 739. Moving on, according to a report by PTI, Kashmiri Pandit employees who were recruited under the Prime Minister's special rehabilitation package protested and threatened to leave the valley if the Jammu and Kashmir administration did not relocate them to safe places within 24 hours. Now, this comes after a series of attacks by militants in recent months. On the 12th of May, Rahul, a Kashmiri Pandit, was shot dead in his office in the Chadura area of Budgam district. Now, according to Indian Express, since January, at least 16 targeted killings, including those of police officials, teachers, and village heads, have been reported. Now, the protesters have asked for temporary relocation for 2 to 3 years till the situation in the valley returns to normal. On to politics now. Congress interim chief Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi were summoned by the Enforcement Directorate in the National Herald money laundering case. Now, Rahul Gandhi has been summoned tomorrow and Sonia Gandhi on the 8th of June. Now, the summons by the ED is linked to a 9-year-old complaint made by Subramaniam Swamy against the Congress president and Rahul Gandhi. Swamy had accused the Congress president and his son of forming a shell company and illegally gaining control of properties worth $300 million. Now, National Herald is published by Associated Journals Limited and owned by Young Indian Private Limited. Now, it was founded and edited by Jawaharlal Nehru before he became India's first Prime Minister. In April 2008, the paper suspended operations as it had incurred a debt of over 90 crore rupees. In the meantime, in a response, Congress MP and senior lawyer Abhishek Manu Singhvi at a press conference said that there is no evidence of money laundering or any of the money exchange. Now, the party has accused the centre of political vendetta and misusing central probe agencies to target the opposition with an eye on assembly elections. On to business news right now. This is an update as far as the centre's data on GST goes. According to Finance Ministry, GST revenue for May stands at nearly 1.41 lakh crore rupees, which is a 44% increase over the same month last year. Now, this is the fourth time that the monthly GST collection has crossed that 1.40 lakh crore rupee mark since the inception of GST. Now, in April, it was 1.68 lakh crore rupees. In March, it was 1.42 lakh crore rupees. In February, it was 1.33 lakh crore rupees. On to news coming in from across the globe right now. The EU has imposed a 90% ban on oil imports from Russia by the end of 2022. Now, along with this, sanctions were also placed on Moscow's biggest bank and 3 state media outlets as well. With the ban, the European Union governments, which are heavily dependent on Russia for oil, will have to find alternative sources of supply. Now, Russia is the world's largest exporter of crude and fuels, and with numerous buyers boycotting the country, it has raised fears of supply disruption. On to sports news right now, an update on what's going on in the French Open. Rafael Nadal has won against Novak Djokovic to reach the semifinals of the French Open. Now, he will now face Germany's Alexander Zverev. Now, Nadal, a 13-time champion in Paris, held off a strong challenge from world number 1 Djokovic and rallied from a breakdown in the fourth set to emerge victorious. One more piece of good news before we wrap things up here on this bulletin. India's men's hockey team has defeated Japan 1-0 in the third place playoff match to win the bronze medal. Now, it had missed out on a chance to reach the Asia Cup 2022 final after playing out a thrilling 4-4 draw against South Korea. Now, Malaysia and South Korea will face off in this title clash. That brings us to the end of this bulletin. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.